Max, you look great. Congrats, man. How have the last few days been for you?
Hopefully I don't sound too bad, but yeah, it's been a long couple of days. It's been a amazing couple of days. It's been a lot of fun, and um, it's still trying to soak it in.
Do you guys plan like what kind of party you're gonna have when you guys win the World Series? Do you guys talk about that like leading up? Like, hey, we want to go over to so and so's house because we didn't get there last time. Do you guys talk about that? And did you execute it?
Uh, yeah, Mookie kind of took care of all of that for us. We went to his house last year after the parade, and we went to his house again this year. And uh, man, that man knows how to throw a party. I'll say that.
Max, why do you guys give Kiké the microphone every time? Do you just want to see what craziness he can spew out of his mouth? Because some of the things he said are awesome, I'm not going to lie. But are you guys like, okay, we need something funny or we need something outrageous? Oh, Kiké, here, it's your turn to talk, right? You got Freddie on one side that's all, oh, hey, I'm just happy because I beat Canadian team and I was from Canada and I'm just so proud and humble. And then you give the mic to Kiké and he's like, F everybody, I don't care. I got 3 rings and it's the best. Like just from now on, skip everyone else and just start with Kiké.
No, what's funny is if you look at the reactions of like um, the guys that run the team, not necessarily the front office because they know what's going to happen, but the people running the show when he gets the microphone, they all kind of just start shaking their head because they know what's about to happen, and it honestly. It's what makes him though. We weren't shocked at all by anything that he said, but we also had no idea what was going to come out of his mouth, and that's part of the beauty of Kiké is he's going to say what comes to his mind, and he's not going to let anything hold him back. And it certainly creates some truly enjoyable moments, and it's just part of the reason why we all love him is he's going to speak his mind, and it's like that all year long, and it's beautiful in my opinion.
How tired were you? Because I tried to explain this to people. When we won on the road. Now, you guys won in Toronto. You had to fly all the way to LA. You got basically 1 day to recover, and then you did the parade. We did the same thing. We won in Houston. The next day we flew back to Chicago, and then we did the parade. I wish for me, I wish there would have been a little bit of more of a time in between, like a couple days so I can kind of recover a little bit. But how tired were you even yesterday? I know you get through it. Like when we did our parade, we had to go on Oprah. I don't even know if you know what Oprah was, but we had to go on Oprah before we did our parade at like 6 a.m. So we were all drunk. Oprah, parade, do the whole thing. And then it was like, all right, it's over, guys. Now what? Like, don't you wish there was like another day or two in between instead of like boom, 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 boom. Oh my gosh, I'm exhausted. Now I have to go home.
Well, this year was a little bit better than last year because we had planned that we were going to stay the night regardless whether we won or lose in Toronto. So we weren't flying back till the next day. Last year, with it being Game 5 in New York, we didn't have a hotel reservation. So when we won, we had to party at the field, then get on a bus, go to the plane, fly back. So the plane didn't take off till like 5 o'clock New York time in the morning. And then we landed, and then it was Halloween that night. So everyone's taking the kids out, and then we had the parade the next morning. Versus this year, went on Saturday. We had all night to kind of, enjoy it, and then the flight was the next day, so everyone was able to sleep in for about 3 hours or however long we got sleep that night. But at the same time, because there's a little bit more rest, guys probably went a little bit harder. And then the parade itself, the parade didn't start till it was like 11 or 11:30, something like that. But because of traffic in LA, they had all of us get to the stadium at like 7:30 in the morning. So there wasn't a whole lot of sleep. Guys were grinding through it, but that's why they make drinks for that. And the boys were having a great time. There's no doubt about that. But like you said, it's about a week long thing where you just get zero sleep, and then now everyone's trying to pack up and get back home, and so you're still not really sleeping because you're stressed about how you're going to get all that stuff done. And it's a wonderful problem to have. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, it's very tiring.
Which partying situation do you like the best? I mean, you got to think about it because you'll be back again. Which one did you like better? Did you like the New York one last year, or this one where you got to spend the night in Toronto? Which, if anybody's never been to Toronto, tremendous city to spend a night in. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, on the East Coast too, the World Series games don't start till 8 o'clock at night, and then I know we have pitch clock now, but those World Series games are still over 3 hours long. Just there's so much going on, and we went extra innings, so we're not getting back to I think the bus back to the hotel wasn't until like 2:30 in the morning or something like that, and then they had a couple ballrooms reserved for us, and so guys took advantage of that, and then we had a nice flight back. I'll say that. That was a fun one for the boys, and I think I preferred the stay in the night just because when we got to the plane after the one in New York, everyone was so spent and worn out from partying already that most people fell asleep on that flight. Versus this one, we had a good time.
As you should have. As you should have. All right, I want to go back through some games with you because we didn't have you on for the World Series. But you lose game one. No, you're fine. You're fine. No, please. Are you kidding me? You're too busy winning. All right, but first of all, I want to say this. Are you mad that you guys weren't the best team and that the best team didn't win the World Series? Like, how mad? How much does that hurt you that you guys weren't the best team and you didn't play the best? But somehow you guys still won. Like, I don't understand how you guys weren't the best team, but you still won.
Yeah, it's funny. It's back-to-back years that the best team didn't win, or that's what people say. So, like Kiké said, I'm really happy the best team didn't win.
Yeah, I'm sure you. We had Jason Stark on yesterday, and I was like, listen, the best team won. They won 4 games before the other team won. So guess what? They're the best team. The fans can cry and whine and say whatever they want, but I think it was more because you guys were expected to win. And the Blue Jays were like this, little story, even though they won the most games in the American League. So I'm happy that y'all won because I picked you guys from the get-go to win. So thank you for winning.
Hey, and my picks. Sorry to interrupt, but I think you agree with me on this. A 7-game series, that's enough games for teams to kind of separate themselves a little bit. A 3-game series, a team can get on a heater. Even a 5-game series, a team can get on a heater. But a 7-game series throughout the course of 7 games, I always felt like the team that's going to win is going to separate themselves a little bit. Now, granted, during the season, you can go on 2-week slumps, but I think 7 games is enough to determine that.
I agree. That's why you guys were the best team because you won, and you had the trophy, you had the parade, you had all that stuff. Now, I want to go back to some games for you. Now, you guys lose the first game big, right? Everyone's like, oh, here's Toronto. Then Yamamoto pitches. Like, thank God for Yamamoto and that contract that everyone said, oh, he's not worth it. Well, he's been worth it for 2 years in a row, okay? But then we get to the 18-inning game, okay? And I'm going to bring up a bad memory here for you. You didn't get any hits in that game. There's always one guy that doesn't get any hits in that game. I've been there. You've been there. But at the end of the day, did you care? Because Freddie Freeman hit the walk-off homer and you guys won, and you don't even know if you got a hit or not.
I know I've at least said it to you guys a couple of times. As long as we get the win, I don't care if I have 10 hits or 0 hits. It really doesn't matter to me. All that matters at this time of year is winning. I know there's a lot of people that don't think that way, but as long as we're getting the trophy in the ring at the end of the day, I don't care what my stat line is, as long as I'm contributing to that team. And I feel like I did a lot of things to contribute, even though I didn't have any hits in that game.
All right. Well, then I'm not going to be negative Nelly like AJ is. How far did you hit that ball against Trey Savage? And it seems like it's like an afterthought. Like it was like, did Max get a hit in that game? You hit one almost to the 5th deck, which, like, the fact that nobody was hitting Trey Savage, the fact that you hit that to pull the team within 1, that's when I said Dodgers are going to win this game. You don't hit that, I don't think you guys have a shot because 2 runs is so much harder to produce that late in the game.
Yeah, for me, I was obviously extremely excited about the home run, but I also wasn't sure how much emotion I should be showing. You don't want to be that guy that's, tossing the bat 100 feet in the air, trying to pump your team up, and then you still end up losing. And then it's like, oh, look at this clown. But, the biggest thing in the back of my head when I did that, besides getting us 1 run closer, was it guaranteed Shohei at least another at bat. And I was like, okay, we definitely have a chance to win this. We got Shohei coming up at least one more time. And that's obviously you're going to feel the best about that, knowing Shohei's getting one more at bat. So for me, in the back of my head, I was like, okay, at least guarantees our guy one more at bat, and that's going to give us the best chance.
Oh, so you didn't think Miggy was going to hit a home run either? Because you were
thought
trying to
Miggy-
get Shohei up?
I thought Miggy was going to find a way to get on base. I'll say that.
How surprised
I
were you?
told I mean, like I said, I thought Miggy was going to get on base. I didn't think he was going to hit a home run, but I told several guys in the dugout in Game 6, I was like, "Hey, this is going to be the Miggy Rowe game. Watch." And it kind of was just on defense, and then he carried that into the next day and made it the Miggy Rowe game on offense. And it's just there's certain guys where you get that feeling that you just know they're going to do something special to help the team win. I had no idea it was going to be a home run, but I thought he was going to get a big hit at some point. Whether it was just get on base or hit a double in the gap or something like that. And, he ended up hitting the home run, which obviously couldn't have been a bigger hit. And just, like I said, you just get certain feelings about guys where they're going to do something to impact the game. And, he definitely did it on both sides of the ball.
Hey, Max, when you're talking about getting on base, were you talking about like when Andres Gimenez tried to stick his hand in front of the ball, that one at bat, and then he gets hit? And then, no, the best part was you guys clear the benches. You were the only guy that thought like, man, we need Robleski in this game. So you just grabbed Robleski and were like, no, you were like the bouncer, right? In that you're like, no, sir, you're not admitted to this club. You have to go over here.
Well, it's funny. The next day on the plane, I actually talked to him about it. And my first reaction was like, hell yeah, don't back down to this guy. Go get him. And then immediately I was like, oh crap, we need him to stay in this game. He's got to throw some more batters. So I was like, I got to get him out of there. My initial reaction was, yeah, go get him. But then I was like, oh man, we got to make sure he stays in this game. And, thankfully the umpires all came up to me and they're like, if you didn't get him out of there, we were probably going to have to toss him. Because how that goes with the instigation rules. If you're the guy that instigates it, then you're usually the one that gets tossed, even though it's not your fault. And so, I knew we needed him for at least one or two, maybe three more batters just based on that part of the lineup. And I was, so I was like, I got to get him out of there and make sure he stays in this game. And I talked to him the next day and he was like, yeah, I appreciate it. At first I think he was a little taken aback that I was not letting him get in the fight, but he had that mentality the whole postseason. Every time he pitched, he was coming after you. He didn't care who you were. And, that's part of the things that I love about our pitchers is they start getting that attitude that they're going to attack you and they don't care. And, it's the right attitude to have, but sometimes you have to have someone, pull you out of there.
We can't go over every single moment. So I need your favorite moment. I need your favorite moment from all. We could do just Game 7. We could do the whole series, but the entire series, your favorite moment of the entire run for you guys.
Man, it's hard to pick one moment. Off the top of my head, I got to throw Yoshi in there for deciding to throw 100 pitches and then come back the next day and still throw 40 pitches. And I mean, that to me was just absolutely insane. And what's funny was the night before he said he had 40, 50 more pitches, but he didn't think he'd be able to go the next day. But we still took him out anyways. And then he was able to go the next day. And I don't know if he was able to go, but he willed his body to be able to get out there and go. And so, like I said, it's too hard to pick one moment, but to me, Yoshi putting his body on the line like that to get us a win, it's hard to describe that in words.
Hey, we've told you about Huel's new Daily Greens ready to drink can, but also we do not want to forget about the OG.
Your favorite. You love that chocolate peanut butter flavor.
I do.
You and Kratz love that chocolate peanut butter flavor.
That's my favorite one. Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
The breakdown?
The vanilla, also good. But when they sent me the chocolate peanut butter, it's like a dessert. But it's not.
35 grams of protein, no added sugar, gluten-free for your boy, under $5 per meal because it's
a meal replacement.
A meal in a drink. 6 grams of fiber, 27 essential vitamins and minerals. Huel makes healthy eating simple. They also just launched into Target stores nationwide. Try both products today with 15% off your purchase for new customers with the exclusive code FOUL at Huel.com/foul. Use that code, fill out the post-checkout survey to help support FT.
Yamamoto, Snell, and how about Glasnow? I mean, Yamamoto's stuff looked ticked up actually the next day, I think, when he was in relief. And And even after throwing the 6 innings the day before. Snell was great. Glasnow game 6, second and third. Nobody out, 3 pitches. Kiké makes the throw. Miggy Rowe with the pick at second base. How good were your starters, not only starting, but out of the pen? These guys were unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, I said it before the postseason even started. I said our starting pitching is going to carry us. I had no idea that meant out of the bullpen also, but, they were definitely going to carry us. And, the Miggy Rowe pick, Mookie's plays, it's just, for me, the slash bunt at third, it's just there's too many plays to really pick. And, to throw another Yoshi story in there, because I just want him to be able to soak all this up and to just say how incredible he was. The 18-inning game, he told the coaching staff he's going to the pen and start getting loose. And, he's down there. The story that I had heard was he was down there kind of playing catch, and the fastball had a little hump on it. He had just thrown a complete game. And so I don't know if he really thought it was a thing that he might come in that game, but they called down and they said, hey, he's got the next inning. And Josh Bard, our bullpen coach, told him that. And we have all the stuff down there for the pitchers to see what their stuff looks like while they're warming up. And the rumor goes that when he got told he was actually coming in the game, his next pitch was 100 miles an hour in the bullpen. And it's just like, wow, this guy was going to be locked in. The most impressive thing that we've ever seen.
Who did you want to see on the mound? If it wasn't Yamamoto, who did you want to see? Because obviously you guys don't see the in-game stuff, but I'm sure you're talking in-game. Doc was like, yeah, we're probably going to go to a position player. Who did you want to see out there?
In the 18-inning game?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I mean, Miggy Rowe was joking that he was going to start busting out the pitcher impressions again if he had to come in that game. And, I don't think any of us really wanted to see that. But at the same time, if we would have found a way to win with him doing that, that would have been incredible.
Not Kiké with his helmet? Not Kiké with his little pitcher's hat on that he now apparently is standard procedure for him in celebrations that he has to wear the pitcher's helmet that no pitcher will wear?
The helmet's not retired in terms of celebrations, but he told us the helmet was retired for pitching.
He was already out of the game, so he couldn't have come in. But I got to go more broad now. Who was the best team that you guys faced? As far as like giving you guys a run where you're like knowing what you have coming in and then what ended up happening during the series, who was the best team you guys faced on your way? Because you guys did it real this year. There was no bye in the first round. You guys went the whole distance.
Yeah, I mean, the easy answer would be the Blue Jays because they took us to 7 games. That offense was incredible. Their pitching staff was executing extremely well. The few times they didn't execute is when we actually took advantage. But, the Phillies series, like the starting pitchers that the Phillies rolled out in terms of stuff and execution, I mean, they were really dominant. That all 3 of those lefties were just really, really dominant. They executed everything they wanted to do. They kept us really off balance. And then obviously offensively, you're always scared anytime Schwarber steps in the box that he might hit one 800 feet, which he did. He hit it out of Dodger Stadium. So the easy answer is the Blue Jays. But the Phillies were equally as tough just with the execution of their pitching staff.
Max, I have 2 questions for you. First of all, we mentioned Kiké. Did you think he was dead when Pages made that catch in the 9th inning of Game 7? Because he just laid there for a second, and it was I mean, what a great move by Dave Roberts, right? Putting him in the game right there for that situation and him going and catching that ball. But did you think Kiké was dead for a second when he just laid there?
I wasn't sure. He'd been dealing with some cramping issues, and so I wasn't sure if something finally blew out on him, but he immediately came back in and said he was laying there because he thought he had messed up the play and dropped the ball, and the Blue Jays won the World Series. So he said he was laying there pouting, and then Pages had to tell him that, I caught the ball. And so then he jumped right up and was super excited and came running back in.
Okay.
So yeah, there was a little thought that maybe he'd finally blown out, but thankfully that wasn't the case.
Hey, and then Max, what about the other play, the other huge play? And I think Kratz is going to ask you about the IKF lead and all that. But when that ball's hit to Miggy Rowe at the base loaded and he takes the step back And then he kind of double pumps. In your head as a player, you kind of have a clock. Were you thinking, oh, no, he's going to be safe? And then you see him out by about this much. Were you like, oh, thank you, we're still alive?
You know, I never had any doubt that he was going to be, like, in terms of the timing of the play, that he was going to be safe at home plate. When I saw Will reach, that was the only doubt I had, was that maybe the throw was offline. Miggy Rowe's internal clock is as good as anybody's. And so I knew that he, because when he fell back, he kind of glanced over and he knew he had time to make the play. But I just wasn't sure if the throw was online. Thankfully, Will was able to keep his foot on the plate, and the throw was fairly in a general area that Will could make that play. And so I never had any doubts on the timing of it.
So many ex-players, so many people that are ex-Twitter players have commented on IKF's lead in that situation. Can you paint the picture as the third baseman, all the things you look at, the things you're looking for with his lead, with a predominantly pull hitter in Varsho up, and evaluate the lead and secondary if you saw it afterwards?
Well, for me at third base, like you said, predominantly pull hitter. So naturally, the instincts would be get off the bag. Like as a third baseman, it's get off the bag in case he slaps one through the hole. But the first couple of pitches, I was almost holding him on like a first baseman. I was trying to keep him as close as I could, and then I'd shuffle off towards the end. And as a base runner, it's always you get as much as the third baseman gives you. In that situation, if there's a line drive hit, you're probably going to get doubled off anyways, because you should be going on contact. You're not necessarily seeing it through. And even if you're standing on the bag, you should be going on contact. So, a line drive, you're almost getting doubled off anyways. But that's what they teach you. You get off as far as the third baseman allows. And, we've done enough back picks throughout the course of the year with Will behind the plate that I don't know if that is in the scouting report for the third base coach, when he's getting in the ear of the runner at third base saying, hey, be careful. If he swings and misses at one, they might try to back pick, keep it close. I have no idea if that plays into anything that's going on over there. But in terms of what I saw, I mean, he did what you're supposed to do. You get as much as the third baseman gives you, and you obviously can't cheat in that situation. You can't try to get a running start before the pitch is thrown, because there's just so many things that could happen. So from what I saw, I didn't maybe the lead was a little small, but he didn't do anything wrong in terms of what I saw.
Agreed. All right. By the way, thank you for saying what you said about if the line drive is hit, because I had this argument with many people, and I said this yesterday. If the line drive is hit, you're double off anyways, so you might as well not. If that's what you're thinking about and you're worried about that, then you're screwed anyways. But
yeah, but that shouldn't be playing into your lead at all, because
I agree.
Like we just said, So but in terms of the lead, like that never plays into your head anyways, because if you're going on contact, you're getting doubled off even if you're standing on the bag. But there's so many other things that goes into play as to why that's what your lead is. And the last thing you want to do is get backpicked in that situation.
Listen,
then it looks even worse.
Max, I'm going to tell you this right now. I'll bet every dollar I have, every dollar you have, and every dollar Shohei has coming to him that Will Smith was not going to backpick with the bases loaded in 1 out in a tie game of the World Series with the game on the line.
Hey.
I'll bet everything that we have that was never going to – if he would have called it, you would have been like, no, man, like we ain't – no chance. Like no way we're doing that right here. There is no way. So I know that you're saying that, but there's no way that was happening.
Yeah, you say that, but we actually talked about it. Because me and Will talk all the time, and we don't have a set sign. We just make eye contact. But that was one of those situations where we had started looking at each other, and it was like, hey, if he back picks, just stay away from the bag so that way the runner can't get in the throw. It's more of a, if he's far enough off, I can catch the throw and dive and tag him. That way, the throw is safe. So we had actually been, talking about it a little bit, because when we made the pitching change before, Will looked at me and said, hey, be ready if there's a swing and miss.
Okay. All right. I still don't believe it. I still have to see it to believe it. But I'll take your word for that one.
It probably wouldn't have happened, but
Yeah.
it was something.
I mean, listen, Max, I've talked about a lot of things in my life, and a lot of them haven't come true. So, I mean, trust me, I get it. But the other thing I want to say is, so when I did the Tigers and the Mariners series, they with a left-handed hitter, they ran their third baseman in the fair territory to start the lead. They would take their lead actually in fair territory. And they did it because they wanted the third baseman to move off the base, right? And then also the chances of a left-handed hitter hitting a line drive A to the third baseman or B to the runner at third and getting him out in fair territory is almost none, right? So then at KF, if he would have moved into fair territory, that would have pushed you off the base a little bit. He could have got a little bigger lead. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on this. You can prove me wrong.
I wasn't moving. I mean, that ball's not coming to me, so I wasn't
See,
moving.
Thank you. They're worried about that. The ball was never going to go to you.
I mean, they had a couple left-handed batters that were shooting it the other way. You know, Jimenez and Barger. They had several hits where they were shooting it the other way, but Varsho was not shooting it the other way. You know, and if he did, it's because he's late on a fastball, and it's probably getting hit hard enough that it doesn't matter where I'm playing, it's getting by me, unless it happens to be right at me. And so, you know, in that situation, even if that guy was in fair territory, I'm probably not moving. But then you also have the third, and you know this, you also have the third base umpire yelling at you that he needs a lane to see the batter in case there's a check swing.
Oh, that's good.
There's so much to go into this stuff.
Yeah, exactly. We could do an hour just on that. Last one. I just don't want to go a conversation without bringing up Shohei. What was the experience like to just watch him be a hitter and a pitcher during the postseason? Of course, I saw yesterday, he's like, three-peat? Like, yeah, I'll enjoy this for 5 minutes, but I'm going to start training tomorrow. Three-peat?
Yeah, you know, I know in the World Series, the pitching maybe didn't go as good as he would have liked, but it was still super impressive considering he started after being on base 9 times in an 18-inning game. I mean, there's no way he had a whole lot left in his legs at that point, and yet he was still out there throwing 99, 100 miles an hour. And, you know, he was executing fairly well. He made one bad pitch to Vladdy, and he obviously got the home run on that. But it was like, for him to be able to do that is just incredible.
By the way, Max, did y'all give Mookie a little bit of grief after that nine times on base for Shohei? Because I know Mookie, I played with Mookie, he's a competitor. Was he mad that they kept walking him and he couldn't get, it was like, oh, come on, Mookie, just one time, right? I know. And then you guys win. So there had to be somebody, maybe it was Kiké, maybe it's someone that was like, hey, Mookie, you know, if you just get one hit, we don't have to go 18 innings.
Yeah, I don't think anyone said anything to Mookie because we all know how much he was wearing that on his sleeve anyways.
Yeah.
You know, he obviously felt that he should have done a way better job, you know, offensively in this series. But at the end of the day, we got the win, and that's really all that matters. And a lot of that was because of what he's able to do for us on defense. And so, you know, Mookie definitely had his thumbprint on this World Series, despite what he might think about it. He had his thumbprint on this World Series, and we don't win without him.
Agreed.
That's true.
100% agree.
Yeah.
And he should have,
Completely.
and I think he should have won the Gold Glove. I know Mason Wynn had a great year, but I thought Mookie, for what he did, he should have won the Gold Glove.
You know, unfortunately, I don't think changing positions ever plays into the Gold Glove voting, but I happen to agree with you. Just, you know, you're talking about a guy going from right field to being one of the best defensive shortstops in baseball. Even if there's a guy that had a little bit better numbers, like, I think that should play into it a little bit. But Mason Wynn, definitely deserving of the Gold Glove. Let's not take that away from him. He's an unbelievable shortstop. So I want to make sure that we're not trying to take that away from him. But I do think that there should be a little bit of that in terms of the voting for Mookie on it. I think he should have got it, but Mason Wynn also definitely deserving. And so I don't want to take anything away from him.
Yeah, there's a great narrative there. I mean, you don't move from outfield to shortstop like that in your career. We just don't see it at all. It's totally overlooked because there's too many other shiny objects right now in terms of storylines with your team. But hey, man, great catching up.
You know, like I said, a guy moves from the outfield to the infield, and he has numbers that are on par with who I think is the best defensive shortstop in baseball with Mason Wynn. Yeah, that's just incredible to me.